A strong hold over current affairs is crucial for aspirants to succeed in the UPSC Civil Services examination. Administer your preparation with updated and relevant news with the monthly Current Affairs Revision Program. Starting from 20th September at 5 p.m., the 60 dedicated classes offer detailed topic-wise coverage of important news compiled through authentic sources such as The Hindu, Indian Express, PIB, Yojana among others. Enhance your knowledge with up-to-date contextual understanding of all current affairs, expert support through personal mentoring, assessment through MCQs and mains-oriented questions, doubt-clearing sessions, student portal access.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's have a look at the headlines first. PM Mega Integrated Textile Regions and Apparel Park inaugurated in Maharashtra. Bombay High Court struck down the 2023 amendment to Rule 3 of the IT rules mandating establishment of fact-checking units. Union Cabinet has approved the development of Venus Orbiter mission. 100 years of establishment of Indian Council of Agricultural Research, National Institute of Secondary Agriculture. Cabinet approved the proposal to become a member of the International Big Cat Alliance. Concerns raised on work-life balance in India after death of an Ernst & Young employee. A new chapter in India's textile industry unfolds today as Prime Minister Modi inaugurates the PM Mega Integrated Textile Regions and Apparel Park in Maharashtra. Developed by the Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation, this state-of-the-art park is part of a larger national initiative to boost India's textile industry and is one of 7 parks established under the ambitious PM MITRA Park scheme. Other states hosting these parks include Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Gujarat, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Launched by the Ministry of Textiles in 2021, the PM MITRA Park scheme draws inspiration from the Prime Minister's 5F vision: farm to fiber, to factory, to fashion, to foreign. It aims to create world-class infrastructure that supports the entire textile industry, driving India towards self-reliance and global leadership in the sector. The scheme runs from 2021-22 to 2027-28 and is implemented through a special purpose vehicle owned jointly by the centre and state governments. The MITRA parks must have at least 1,000 acres of contiguous, encumbrance-free land aligned with state textile and industrial policies. These parks can be developed as either greenfield or brownfield projects. Now let's discuss the potential benefits of PM MITRA Park scheme. These parks will reduce logistics costs, enhancing competitiveness, as it will create an integrated value chain right from spinning, weaving, processing, dyeing and printing to garment manufacturing all at one location. Each park is set to create 1 lakh direct jobs and an additional 2 lakh indirect jobs, making it a prominent contributor to employment generation. Moreover, these parks contribute to India's achievement of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, particularly SDG 9, which focuses on building resilient infrastructure and fostering sustainable industrialization. In addition to the PM MITRA initiative, the government is supporting the textile sector through schemes like the Scheme for Capacity Building in Textile Sector, which addresses the need for skilled manpower. Another is the Amended Technology Upgradation Fund Scheme, which promotes the use of advanced machinery. The Production-Linked Incentive Scheme for Textiles and the National Technical Textiles Mission further aims to strengthen the sector's global footprint. In a prominent judgment, the Bombay High Court has struck down the 2023 amendment to Rule 3 of the IT rules, which mandated the establishment of fact-checking units. This ruling comes in the ease of Kunal Kamra versus Union of India, challenging the government's authority to regulate social media content through these units. The 2023 amendment to the IT Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code Rules 2021 empowered the government to identify and flag fake news regarding to its business on social media platforms through FCUs. Once flagged, intermediaries were required to remove the content or face the risk of losing their safe harbor protections, would shield them from legal liabilities over third-party content. In 2023, the Supreme Court stayed the centre's notification to set up the FCU unit within the Press Information Bureau. The Bombay High Court deemed the amendment ultra-vires beyond the powers of the IT Act 2000 and ruled it unconstitutional. The court observed that the provisions violated the principles of natural justice and several fundamental rights, including Article 14, Equality before law, Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A, Freedom of Speech and Expression, Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause G, Freedom to practice any profession, Article 21, Right to life and personal liberty. The court criticized the amendment for its vagueness, noting that it lacked a clear definition of fake or misleading news. Furthermore, it asserted that without a right to the truth, the state should not be responsible for providing citizens only with information deemed accurate by the FCU. Importantly, the court found that the rule failed the test of proportionality, which assesses whether a restriction on fundamental rights is justified. Wrapping up, let's learn more about test of proportionality. For a law to pass this test, it must satisfy 4 criteria. Legitimacy. Does the law serve a valid government objective? Suitability. Is the law effective in achieving that objective? Necessity. Could a less restrictive approach have been used? Fourth, balancing. Do the benefits of the law outweigh the rights it infringes upon? With this judgment, the court has reaffirmed the importance of free speech and legal safeguards in the digital age. In a major boost to India's space exploration ambitions, the Union Cabinet has approved the development of the Venus Orbiter Mission, or VOM. This mission, led by the Department of Space, aims to send a scientific spacecraft into orbit around Venus, our closest planetary neighbor, and is scheduled for launch by ISRO in March 2028. With a budget of Rs 1,236 crore, the spacecraft itself will account for Rs 824 crore. The Venus Orbiter mission will help scientists gain a better understanding of Venus' surface, subsurface, and its dense, mysterious atmosphere. It will also shed light on how the Sun influences Venus' atmosphere and help unravel the history of Venus and Earth, often called sister planets because of their similar size and structure. This mission will position India to lead future planetary missions, allowing for larger payloads and more efficient orbit insertion approaches. Additionally, the mission is expected to generate significant employment opportunities and offer technology spin-offs that could benefit other sectors of the economy. Venus, often called Earth's twin, is the second planet from the Sun and is similar to Earth in terms of size and structure. However, its thick atmosphere creates a runaway greenhouse effect, making it the hottest planet in the solar system. Venus is covered in toxic clouds of sulfuric acid and is one of the only 2 planets, alongside Uranus, that rotates from east to west. Recent findings have suggested the presence of phosphine in Venus's clouds, a potential indicator of microbial life. India's VOM will join the ranks of several historic missions to Venus. Notable past missions include Mariner 2 in 1962, the first spacecraft to visit Venus; the Venera 7 mission by the Soviet Union in 1970, which achieved the first soft landing on Venus; and NASA's Magellan in 1990, which mapped Venus's surface using radar. Currently, Japan's Akatsuki spacecraft is studying Venus's atmosphere, and in the near future, NASA's Da Vinci and Veritas, along with ESA's Envision orbiter, will all explore this fascinating planet further. Today, we mark a historic milestone in India's agricultural legacy, the 100th anniversary of the establishment of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, National Institute of Secondary Agriculture, located in Ranchi, Jharkhand. This prestigious institution, originally founded in 1924 as the Indian Institute of Natural Raisins and Gums, was renamed ICAR-NISA in 2022 and continues to operate under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare. NISA's contribution to secondary agriculture has been profound. But what is secondary agriculture? It refers to the value addition of primary agricultural products, converting them and their byproducts into high-value commodities pharmaceutical, industrial, and food uses. This can include activities like beekeeping, poultry farming, and even agricultural tourism, making secondary agriculture a vast, dynamic field. Notably, it is a broad term including both food and non-food processing. Extraction of vitamins from grains and oil from rice bran, production of jaggery from sugarcane, cottage scale unit for making jams, pickles, etc. are a few examples of secondary agriculture. It has the potential to transform India's rural landscape due to increased consumer demand for value-added products like ready-to-eat and functional foods. Second, requirement for use of unconventional renewable agro-bioresources. And third, due to large quantities of agricultural byproducts. In terms of its significance, it is environmentally sustainable as crop residues and agricultural waste can be utilized properly instead of being burnt or dumped. It will boost farmers' income as they will get better economic returns from activities like beekeeping, lag culture, etc. It also enhances shelf life and increases total productivity. And lastly, it promotes agriculture, rural and cottage industries and usage of technology. However, the journey ahead is not without its challenges. Industries producing high-value products like active pharmaceutical ingredients from agricultural byproducts are still in their infancy. Issues such as small land holdings, lack of awareness among farmers, and limited research in appropriate technologies need urgent action. In a major move for global wildlife conservation, the Union Cabinet has approved India's membership in the International Big Cat Alliance. India became a founder member by signing and ratifying the Framework Agreement for the establishment of IBCA. Apart from India, Nicaragua, Eswatini, and Somalia have also joined the alliance. The International Big Cat Alliance was launched by India in 2023 to mark the 50th anniversary of Project Tiger. Its primary goal is to strengthen global cooperation for the conservation of 7 big cat species: the tiger, lion, leopard, snow leopard, cheetah, jaguar, and puma, and protect their habitats. Notably, India is home to all of these species except for the puma and jaguar. IBCA is a multi-country, multi-agency coalition that includes 95 big cat range countries along with non-range countries interested in conservation efforts. All UN member countries are eligible to join IBCA, and 9 international organizations have also agreed to partner with the alliance. The initiative will be supported with Rs 150 crore over 5 years from 2023-24 to 2027-28 and will have its headquarters in India. Protecting big cats and their habitats is crucial for safeguarding biodiversity. As keystone species, big cats play a vital role in maintaining the health of ecosystems by controlling herbivore populations. Their conservation also supports local economies by promoting ecotourism and providing livelihood opportunities. Regarding conservation status, India's big cats face varying threats. The tiger is listed as endangered, while species like the lion, cheetah, snow leopard, and leopard are considered vulnerable as per the IUCN Red List. In India, all 5 big cats are protected under the Wildlife Protection Act and listed in CITES Appendix 1 and 4, ensuring strict protection for their survival. Concerns over work-life balance in India have been reignited following the tragic death of an earnest and young employee, casting a spotlight on the country's long working hours. As per the International Labour Organization, India is now ranked as one of the most overworked nations globally. Key findings from the ILO reveal that 51% of India's workforce works 49 or more hours per week, placing the country second only to Bhutan in this regard. By comparison, nations like Vanuatu, Kiribati, and Micronesia average just 24.7 to 30.4 hours per week, while India's average working week stands at 46.7 hours. Several factors contribute to India's lack of work-life balance. The rise of remote work during the pandemic has blurred the boundaries between work and personal time. Gender biases exacerbate the issue, with only 32% of women managing a work-life balance, as per an IIMA study. An industry focused on counting hours over measuring productivity, And lastly, the informal economy further skews the distribution of work hours. The impact of long working hours is profound. It increases the risk of stroke, stress, and mental health issues, while businesses see reduced productivity and rising absenteeism. Socially, longer hours lead to reduced participation in community and civic life. To address these concerns, experts suggest limiting work hours to a 40-hour work week, as seen in countries like Iceland, Spain, and the UK, and promoting wellness programs. Additionally, some nations like France and Australia have introduced the right to disconnect, allowing employees to refuse work regarding communication outside working hours. Legal provisions already exist. The ILO's Hours of Work Industry Convention 1919 caps working hours at 48 per week. India's own Factories Act 1948 mirrors this standard, and the Weekly Holidays Act 1942 mandates weekly breaks for employees. In today's Place in News, we'll be discussing Lao PDR with its capital Vientiane. India's Minister for Commerce and Industry co-chaired the 21st ASEAN-India Economic Ministers meet in Lao PDR. Let's discuss its political features. It is the only landlocked country in Southeast Asia and a member of ASEAN. It is a part of Golden Triangle, the opium-growing region. Its bordering countries include China in the north, Vietnam in the northeast and the east, Cambodia in the south, Thailand in the west, and Myanmar in northwest. In terms of its geographical features, its plateaus include Zhangjiang, Bolivins, and Khammouan. Its mountain ranges include Annamite Range and Luang Prabang Range. Its highest peak is Phobia, and major rivers are Mekong, bordering Myanmar and Thailand, and its tributaries. As we wrap up today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. Highlighting the importance of witnesses as eyes and ears of justice, the Supreme Court raised concerns over the implementation of the Witness Protection Scheme 2018. Scheme was endorsed by the Supreme Court in 2018 and foreseeable in all states and union territories. Securities and Exchange Board of India allowed mutual funds to buy and sell credit default swaps to improve liquidity in corporate bond market. A CDS is a financial derivative that allows an investor to swap or offset their credit risk with that of another investor. Finance Ministry notifies Direct Tax Vivad Se Vishwas Scheme 2024. Its aim is to resolve income tax disputes currently under appeal. It will allow taxpayers to settle appeals, writ petitions, and special leave petitions pending in the Supreme Court, High Courts, and appellate tribunals before the cut-off date of July 22, 2024. India and Brazil decided to collaborate on production and use of sustainable aviation fuels. Currently, SAF remains major, mature, and viable pathway to decarbonize aviation sector. It is a liquid fuel currently used in commercial aviation, which reduces carbon dioxide emissions by up to 80%. Government launched the Food Import Rejection Alert online portal during the second edition of Global Food Regulators Summit 2024. FIRA generates alerts on food consignments rejected by India due to poor safety standards, notifying the public and food safety authorities. Third indigenous pressurized heavy water reactor unit of the Rajasthan Atomic Power Project has attained criticality. A reactor achieves criticality when each fission event releases a sufficient number of neutrons to sustain an ongoing series of reactions. Government has introduced the facial recognition technology two-factor authentication process for delivering take-home ration as a pilot project. FRT is an artificial intelligence system which allows identification or verification of a person based on certain images or video data using complex algorithms. Square Kilometre Array, world's largest radio telescope in making, has carried out its first observations and became partially functional. SKA project aims at building world's largest radio telescope with eventually over a square kilometre of collecting area. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found our today's episode engaging. For the solutions to the quiz and for the PDF version, visit the links in the description below.